Once upon a time, there was a kingdom full of happiness. And in that kingdom lived a king and queen who had only one wish, and that one wish was to have a child. The king and the queen were very kind people, so they knew in their hearts that one day their wish would come true. And one day soon enough, their wish came true. They were blessed with a baby girl. Because she was as bright as the sun that lit up the day, they named the little princess Celandine. The king and the queen decided to have a big ball to celebrate their joy and the birth of Celandine. Everyone was invited, even the fairies living in the mystery forest. But the king and the queen made a big mistake. They forgot to invite one fairy in particular. Everyone from all around the kingdom and the kings and queens from the neighboring kingdoms presented their gifts and best wishes to Celandine. And last but not least, it was time for the 12 fairies. The fairies gave incredibly unique presents to Celandine with their magic wands. They gifted her with anything she could want in the world. In the end, only 3 fairies remained to give their presents, and they also gave wonderful presents to Celandine.
May the beauty of the world be with you at all times, little princess. My gift is eternal happiness. May you never be sad and always be happy.
Just as the last fairy was going to present her gift, something very unexpected happened. The whole ballroom was suddenly covered in green smoke, and when the smoke cleared, the black fairy appeared. The king demanded to know who this fairy was crashing their beautiful ceremony. The other fairies immediately recognized her. It was the evil-hearted black fairy.
So I see that everyone is invited, all the people in the kingdom, your friends, kings, queens, and the fairies, but unfortunately, I was not invited.
The king apologized for their oversight.
Well, I will not leave this beautiful little princess without a truly unique gift of mine. The most beautiful princess will grow surrounded by happiness, love, and admiration. But on her 16th birthday, just before sunset, she will prick her finger on a needle and she will be gone forever.
Seize that monster!
Yelled the king, but the black fairy disappeared with her evil laughter. It was the last fairy's turn to give her gift. She was not as powerful as the black fairy, but she wished for something which could at least mitigate the bad curse.
I cannot prevent the curse, but I can affect the outcome. May you not die when the curse unfolds, but go into a deep sleep and wake up with a kiss of true love. My gift to you.
The king, in an attempt to prevent the curse from happening, ordered every needle, sewing machine, or anything that even resembled a needle to be collected and burnt in the courtyard of the castle. With the gifts of the fairies, Princess Celandine grew up as a beautiful and kind child that everybody loved. One day, her father, the king, ordered 3 fairies to take care and guard Celandine, which proved to be a rather difficult task because Celandine was curious and spirited. Nevertheless, she grew up to be a very beautiful young girl under the care of her guardian fairies. Finally, the day arrived. It was the 16th birthday of Princess Celandine. It was only until sunset before the Black Fairy's curse was going to unfold. The king and the queen did everything they could to prevent the curse from happening, but they were still anxious that it might come true. They locked Celandine in a secluded room to protect her, but curious and unaware of the danger, Celandine discovered a hidden door in the room. Intrigued by this door she had never seen before, she heard strange noises coming from behind it. Unaware of what was going to happen, she entered the door. Inside, she found a woman sewing with her back turned. As the sun began to set, the Black Fairy's curse unfolded, and Celandine reached out to the needle. With just a touch, she fell into a deep sleep, as foretold. And so it was. At sunset, the Black Fairy's spell was cast on Celandine's 16th birthday. They dressed her in her most beautiful attire and placed her on a bed of flowers. Thus began the days where Celandine would be known as the Sleeping Beauty. The king and the queen, wanting to alleviate their sorrow, decided to put everyone in the castle to sleep until the time the princess would awaken. 100 years passed. One day, a handsome prince was passing by and saw the castle covered in thorn bushes and ivy. His men told stories of the castle and the sleeping beauty. Intrigued, the prince decided to enter the castle. The thorns and bushes were thick, but he persisted and cleared a path with his sword. Eventually, he reached the door where 2 guards lay asleep. Inside, he found the king and queen also in a deep slumber. He continued through the castle until he discovered a room with a half-open door. Inside lay Sleeping Beauty, Celandine, resting on a beautiful bed of flowers. The prince approached, marveling at her beauty, and whispered softly,
"You're the famous Sleeping Beauty. You're so beautiful."
Overwhelmed with love, he kissed her on her forehead. At that moment, Celandine opened her eyes and beheld the handsome prince before her. With her awakening, everyone in the castle also awoke from their 100 years of sleep. The king and the queen, in great astonishment, hurried to Celandine's room to see what had transpired. When they saw their beloved daughter awake, they were overcome with joy and happiness. The prince then asked Celandine to marry him. She smiled at him and accepted his proposal, and the king gladly gave his blessing to the prince who had saved his daughter and his kingdom.